For our last segments, let's get into the NFL playoffs here. It's really starting to get into the meat of the playoffs now with the divisional playoffs continuing tomorrow. Wild card weekend was certainly about survival. This round, I feel, is about belief. So before we take a look at the keys to each of these matchups, who do you guys think is under the most pressure this weekend and why? It could be a coach, player, team. Who do you think is really feeling the pressure? Who's going to be feeling that pressure as these games play out?
Oh man.
Well, I came up with a team, a player, and a coach,
Okay.
and I kind of did it that way. I think Chicago is going to be under the most pressure because it's just been so long, and so I just really think that they're feeling the heat in order to make that happen. I believe C.J. Stroud is under the most pressure as a player because we do not need him to nut up.
Oh,
C.J. Stroud. he,
wow.
I mean, he can't be throwing interceptions and stuff like that. He just can't. And
Yeah,
then I
he is
believe Sean
terrible.
McDermott has a lot of pressure because Buffalo, y'all been on the cusp for too long.
What about you, big dude? Who's
Well,
feeling the pressure this weekend?
I think that I think McDermott. I would say, I mean, getting through this round is going to be important because we got to see where else they're going to go. Especially with the defense. Uh, the defense is going to have to play just about good enough. And then having a guy that was the MVP from last year, Allen, and having the year that they had with Cook, so there are a lot of people that had career years. When you got people on your team that had career years like those guys have had the last couple of years, wins have got to be associated with it. So I'm with you when you talked about Dable. How much longer do you think that can happen? And I like McDermott. But I think that as difficult as a game as this is, I think for the Bills and leaving Orchard Park Stadium and all that, I think they really need to win. I think this is big for the organization. All of it's really big, but I think they're at a crossroad where a loss it will bring up some other questions about what changes there need to be. Because to be honest with you, I don't think there's a lot of changes that need to be made, but enough. And I think that winning this game will show who wants what. And I think McDermott is going to try to have to get the most out of, I would say, Buffalo in this particular round. So I'm going to say McDermott.
All right, I have two players first. Sam Darnold,
Yeah.
this show improved time for him.
I can
And I
see
don't know
that.
if you guys saw the latest reports. He hurt himself in practice yesterday, an oblique injury, which is
Mm.
not going to heal. It's going to hurt every time you
Every
throw.
time he throws.
So that'll be interesting. I think a lot of pressure on him, but doesn't need to do too much. You have a great defense. Just play. CJ Stroud, bruh, it's being handed to you on a silver platter. I mean, we could probably count between us, and we've seen a lot of football. How many defenses have been this good? I love watching Houston play to watch that defense go to work. I don't care
Yeah.
about the offense. I want to see the defense go to work. I mean, it's vicious, man. So, I mean, he's got to hold up his end of the bargain. And of course, McDermott. Even though this isn't one of the Bills' strongest teams, you got to show and prove now, man. This is your opportunity to show that you can coach. That's where I'm at with that situation right now. None of these teams that are left in the AFC are unbeatable. And we could argue that Buffalo has the experience on their side. They've been in AFC championship games before. They haven't necessarily done it on the road, but, a lot of veterans now. Shouldn't matter where this is. Of course, we play really well at home. We're almost unbeatable. But sometimes, you got to take the show on the road and show what it is. And to be the best, you got to beat the best, home or away at some point. So I think McDermott's under a ton of pressure. A lot of these other teams right now kind of playing with house money, in my opinion. Chicago's on the come up. Seattle's coach is, fairly young. His second or third year, I think, is their coach. New England's on the come up.
What about
Houston, probably. San Francisco, a little bit of pressure because they've been to a couple Super Bowls and there's nothing to show for it. So Shanahan's probably feeling a little something as well. We forgot about that, especially being that he's behind.
I didn't think about it, but I'm like,
you're right. That's a good one.
As far as he's been, it's like, okay,
that's a real good one. And he's the culprit behind the 28-3 collapse in the Super Bowl because he was the OC, right?
He sure was.
Right. He sure
was.
So he still got some stuff to prove. I thought he was brilliant in the wild card game. He couldn't have, that would have been like a pitcher pitching a no-hitter or a one-hitter. He called a hell of a game last week. So we'll see what he does. But definitely a lot of teams playing with house money in this situation. But
that's true.
But thanks for your thoughts there. All right. Let's get ready to get into these games, fellas. First game of the day. We got my boys at Mile High. And this is just a look at how the teams kind of compare some of the statistics that stand out. Big dude, we'll start with you. How do you see this playing out for my boys, man?
Well, I picked them. And I picked them because I think it's because of the way it is and they're them getting through the trial last week. And I think the teams that were on bye weekends, I don't think things are going to bode all that well. The people who were on a bye, I think it's going to be almost like the CFP. The bye situation is not going to be as much as an advantage as people think. I think Buffalo is starting to get right, as we say. When you get through a game, doesn't look like you're going to win, you're able to do some small things and then, make some big plays and get through some things. I think that Buffalo, now that everybody is together, and even though this game, like you said, is on the road in Mile High, for some reason people seem to like playing in Mile High, and I like Buffalo in this one. I think they'll run the ball. And I think that Allen will take. I think the defense will do just enough. Watch for. I know you're going to think this is crazy, but watch for number 58, Milano.
Bless you, G. Hey, Jack, try to hold off on your picks on each of these until we're done with the analysis, if you don't mind. But I got you on Buffalo on this one.
Okay, my bad.
What you got, G?
Well, Bills. Yeah, y'all have a lot of injuries right now. And Denver is rested, and so I believe that the defense is going to win. So that's pretty much all I have to say about that one.
Tell us how you really feel.
Well, the injuries, man, that's going to come into play.
All right, so big dude, you already gave up your selection here. Hold up. All right, and G, who you got on this one?
I say this with trepidation. Denver.
Yeah.
All right, my analysis of this one, trying to be objective. Definitely, the injuries are a big problem, but I know this is going to sound like such a homer. There's a feeling about this team, and I can't describe what it is. Like they had no business going into Jacksonville last week. And the defense is playing way better the last month and a half of the season. We're never going to win any Defensive Team of the Year awards, but we do enough to win. I mean, we won the turnover battle against Jacksonville. Nothing really scares me about Denver other than the pass rush. And Josh has had problems with teams that have these type of defenses, the Denvers, the Houstons. When Kansas City's defense was like this in the beginning of that rivalry with them, he had a really awful time with that type of pressure. And that worries me because of the lack of weapons that we have. There's no outlets. At least there was Diggs, in those situations. We had Gabe Davis. But we don't really have anybody that I think Denver is probably afraid of. However, and man, I can't remember his name off the top of my head, and I'm mad about that. The one DB on Denver is super suspect, and I have to look it up now. But we got to certainly stay away from Patrick Surtain Jr.
Yeah.
I mean, I think Denver has a big decision to make because do you put him on Shakur, which is crazy that's probably our best receiver, but you put him on Shakur, do you want to waste him on Kincaid? I mean, I don't know what you do, but they're not really threatened by our wide receivers. We did get Curtis Samuel back, but okay. And but I have to look up this one guy that I think is really suspect on their defensive secondary. Riley Moss. Every game I watch, he is getting toasted. I mean, getting toasted. So I think that's something that we can exploit. But that pass rush is going to be super fierce. Josh is going to have to – he got to play a smart game. And again, the turnover battle. I do think that someone in this game is going to return a kick. Denver has a good punt returner. Ray Davis was leading the league in kickoff return yardage. Somebody is going to return a punt or a kickoff, and that could be a huge difference in this game. I know y'all going to think I'm a homer, but I'm going with my boys. It's just a feel. I don't think Josh going to let us lose, man. I do not think he's going to let us lose.
That's where I'm at, and I think Cook is going to be solid also. He's going to. And I think he has an explosive play that changes the game. Cook.
He should be able to run on them. They don't have the worst run defense, but they're certainly not the best.
Mm-hmm.
So we'll see what happens. And of course, I'm having technical difficulties. Yeah. All right, let's get into the next game. It's the San Francisco, Seattle. And I'll get back to this at some point here. What are you thinking on that one?
Which one?
Big dude.
Analysis
Seattle,
first?
San Francisco, Seattle, yeah.
Well, I think San Francisco, of course, is off a big win. And I think that the fourth and fifth linebacker thing has caught up with it. And I think that they'll make some plays. They'll make some adjustments. And I think that San Francisco will coach a heck of a game. I just don't think it's going to be good enough. Kenneth Walker the third, and I think Kenneth Walker the third is the MVP in this game for Seattle. And I think he's going to have to be because of the situation that Darnold's in, and their offensive line will, I think, put San Francisco away late in the third quarter, fourth quarter. So I am going with Seattle.
All right, what about you, G?
I like looking at injuries, as y'all know. So, but both of them are dealing with the injuries. But I believe Seattle has the better defense, and so I really think that that's going to be the reason why I think Seattle will win. I think that they're going to avenge that loss of Week 18. And again, this is their third time playing each other. So I believe Seattle, but I think Seattle has a lot of get back energy coming into
Seattle
this
won
season.
Week 18. Hold up, G. I thought Seattle won the Week 18.
Was that Week 18? Because I thought San Francisco won the first game.
Yeah, Week 18, Seattle won because San Francisco could have got number one seed.
Right. So and San Francisco won early in the season when they played.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, I think that Seattle has to get. We're going to get you back energy for that loss Week 18, They're both of them dealing with some serious injuries, but Seattle's defense is better. So I think Seattle will win.
All right, and I am also going with Seattle. Something in me today wanted to change that pick to San Francisco because again, I just something about that team as well, and they have played them close, but I just think Seattle's defense is going to be too much, and people sleep on their offense. I mean, Darnold has made some mistakes here and there, but they have a pretty potent offense. I mean, they can run the ball, they can pass. So, I think they're really good on both sides of the ball. Obviously, some people picked them to win the Super Bowl, but yeah, I'm
Well,
going
they put up
Seattle
the
as
third
well.
most points.
Yeah, I'm going Seattle as well.
Got you.
All right.
Their defense, yes.
Our Sunday game, the Texans at the Patriots. Now, this is a real interesting one. Set us
Yeah.
off, big dude. What's your
Well,
analysis on this and your pick?
well, I mean, everything points toward the Patriots. I mean, normally, I would say normally, but the Patriots have played well in almost every aspect of what's going on now. But again, being in the playoffs as another team that did not play, it'll be interesting if they're ready for the momentum of the Texans. And I think
Right.
this is a chance for CJ Stroud to prove his worth. And I think you have a hard charging coach from the Texans, and their hard charging defense is going to make it tough. I don't think this is going to be a high scoring game, and I think that the lower the score goes in this particular game, it favors the Texans in this particular game. So I think because of the physicality, and I think that the Texans are going to protect the ball and do enough to win. I think that New England gets knocked off, and their story is over.
Yeah, and that the over under on that too, by the way, is 40. So
Okay.
I'm with you on that low scoring there, big dude.
Okay.
What you got, G?
Yeah, I was looking through a bunch of information, and what stuck out to me was New England allowing let's say 3 points, and Houston. Let me see. Yeah, Houston allowing 6, but Houston puts up 30, on average, and New England 16 on average. So I believe Houston definitely has the edge in this particular game, even though New England is favored. And I think C.J. Stroud, so yeah, I mean Houston isn't the Panthers, but C.J. Stroud's a Buckeye, and so there's a
Mm-hmm.
part of me that just really wants to see the best in him. But
Mm-hmm.
if he plays the way we know he can play, they'll be fine, and I think they'll beat New England.
All right. G on that Houston tip. I am going with the Patriots.
Mm-hmm.
CJ Stroud has to be better first and foremost. He cannot repeat the performance that he had last week. They won't get away with those mistakes this
Yep.
week if he plays like that. And it's pretty simple from Houston's end as far as I'm concerned. He's going to be without Nico Collins, which is huge. So that means the rookies have to step up. Jalen Noel and Jaden Higgins, they got to step their game up. I believe this is a big opportunity for Dalton Schultz. Where has he been the last few weeks? I haven't heard his name the last month and a half of the season. And he can be a mismatch problem. And this is a good game for that because New England really struggles with tight ends. They really, really, really struggle. So that's a good
Mm.
opportunity for Houston there. For New England, pressure Stroud. He's not confident right now. If
Yep.
you get to him early, that's just going to be a
Mm-hmm.
continuation of what we saw Monday night. One of the problems is New England does not have the best pass rush. So there's not a lot of things. I know I picked New England, but there's not a lot of things that are really in their favor if you really look at this matchup. Drake May can't turn the ball over. And I think we'd all agree Drake May has not seen anything like he's about to see Sunday. He ain't
Right.
seen nothing like this before.
Yes,
So
he's going to take some good shots, and we'll find out about
so
Drake May.
we gonna see what this young man's about. And I heard something today where somebody said even when he scrambles, because I think he can use his legs, but they said even when he scrambles, he needs to be careful because I forgot how they described it, but Houston somehow their defense is so active they still are able to get the hit on the quarterback. So he needs to decide if it's going to be feet first or head first, and that he might be better off going head first. That's
No,
how good
you
this
don't want to
defense
go
is.
in and get it. He'd be in concussion protocol.
That's how good this defense is.
Yeah,
But
I'm just looking at Houston defense numbers, man, and it's just
it's insane. It's
it is.
insane. But I think that he can use his legs if he's smart about it because he is athletic enough. But I think a big advantage that New England has is Josh McDaniels. Been here before. He was Brady's quarterback. He's been in Super Bowls. He's gonna come up with a good game plan. He's played against those Ravens defenses, right? He played against the Legion of Doom in the Super Bowl, so he's seen defenses. I want to say like this / similar to it because I don't know if this is like some 86 Bears to me, man. I ain't gonna lie to you. And I don't think the Ravens might have had the statistical category with the Bears at the end of the day, but I didn't see them as fearfully as I did those 86 Bears. Like people was getting knocked out of games against those Bears, right? So I think that Josh McDaniels' experience could play a big role. Outside of that, man, I'm still picking New England. I just think that Houston's offense is not going to be good enough because of CJ Stroud. Now, if CJ Stroud has a good game, this shouldn't be a problem, but I just don't see it. I don't see it. All right, our last game, the Rams and the Bears. What you got, big dude?
Well, I think the Rams, to be honest with you, one of the biggest games that's happened for them already is the Eagles getting knocked out by the
Eagle fans always got to say something slick.
Well, I mean, because LA just
take y'all L and go home, man.
Yeah, hey, I did.
And y'all Super Bowl trophy. Damn.
That's why I got a Piazza jersey on. I'll take it.
Happy.
It's no problem.
Eagle fans ain't never happy, man.
No, we're not. But I think that LA though is in good shape. I think to be honest with you, I think that quietly that's who's playing the best football right now is LA. Quietly, that's what I think. I think that of course, they're going against the Bears. In Chicago, it's going to be cold and it's going to be crazy. But LA's played a lot of cold ball. And when I look at their running game, now you got Blake Corum going, and of course you have Nakua. He's going too. Their defense has gotten better. Verse, their linebacker, he's gotten leaps better, and they just look really good. I think the Rams are always in the game but ready to take it over. And I think against the Bears, who has everyone, and like I said, they have a number of people with things to prove, with Williams and also, Swift, who is from Philly or Philly area, all those folks, for the Bears, they can't mess around and start off the way they started last week. It just is not a good thing. It was good enough to win last week. Their effort and what they got done and getting on track, if they take time for it, they will pay for it this week. So I think that the Rams are playing the best football right now. Their running game has gotten better, and of course, their passing game and their O-line has been, improved. So I'm going to go with the Rams.
By the way, big dude, G loves Blake Corum.
You do?
No,
where you get that from?
Michigan, man. Michigan guy.
That's what I'm like. Where you get that from?
Yeah. I haven't heard that one. That's worse than what I said.
G doesn't like anything Michigan. I think
Nothing.
clear on that.
Nothing.
All right, G, what are you looking at in this one?
I actually think this might be a pretty close game. Do I remember correctly that some people were thinking that the Rams could actually have won it all this season?
Hmm.
Yeah,
I was one of those people.
yeah, I was
Yeah.
too.
So, what you
And,
gonna
and
say,
that
dude?
Say
and
that
that's what
again.
I thought. But that's what I meant by them going to the Eagles. I thought they were good. I thought next week. I thought they would be playing against the Eagles at some point and playing against the Eagles in the NFC Championship. That's what I thought I had, and that was going to be the game because the Rams were going to be looking forward to it. So it won't be the Eagles, but you
And I
go.
joked with you, Steph, but you're dead
Mhm,
on that. The Rams wanted to avoid that.
mhm.
I'm sure that they were real happy when the Eagles got beat. I'm sure.
Oh, you know
Yeah.
it. So I'm sitting there I'm thinking to myself that I think Chicago can actually pull it out because they put up more points than LA stops.
Mm.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I really believe that if Chicago plays a clean game, I believe they can get LA.
Hmm.
All right, and I don't know that I necessarily disagree with you, but then you're gonna play a clean game.
Hey,
I think one, the Rams are one of my picks in the beginning of the season to win the Super Bowl. Like Steph said, I had them going to play the Eagles in the NFC Championship game. And if you remember that game earlier in the season, that
Right.
um, big boy Jordan Davis
Yep.
blocked the field goal attempt and brought it back.
Right.
I thought that was home field right there, and I thought the Rams had
So
let it
did
slip
I.
between their fingers. But obviously, the season didn't pan out as either team expected in regards to home field. Stafford's got to protect that ball. He's been turning the ball over a lot lately. Got him in the hole against Atlanta that Monday night. He's turned
mhm.
it over a lot twice. Then they played Carolina. I just don't like what that. Did you guys hear that?
Yeah, that was my phone.
Oh,
Somebody
okay.
texting.
Okay, no worries. Um,
My
I just
bad.
think that he needs to protect the ball. In Chicago leads the league in interceptions, so he needs to be real, real careful. Um, they need to establish the run. I feel like the last few Rams games that I've seen, they haven't been running as much, and throughout the year they have run well. Um, both running backs are both capable of having good games.
But
Certainly,
weren't
they
they
have an
forced
advantage.
into having to throw though?
Say that again.
Weren't they forced into having to throw?
Not in the games that I saw, they weren't.
Oh, okay. 'Cause yeah,
And I
I
was
haven't seen all the games.
and I say that, G, because I was specifically watching those games from a fantasy football perspective when I'm like, give this person the ball, need some points here type situation. And they were
Hmm.
passing. They'd be up by 2 and 3 scores and still be passing.
Hmm.
So I don't know what that was about, but they have the advantage on the outside with the cool Adams, Atwell, even the tight ends, Parkinson and Higbee can both beat you. Their defense is like Swiss cheese to me, however. They're going to need to be able to put some pressure on Caleb, and they got to stop him from extending plays, which I don't think they're going to be able to do. For Chicago, they need to get off to a fast start. You keep playing with fire too much. You're not going to go down 21-3 against the Rams and think that's going to work out for you. You're going to end up getting
No,
blown
not at
out.
all.
You will get blown out. This is a team that was in NFC Championship 2 weeks ago and was close to pulling that one out in Philly. So they have the experience. I don't think that they'd allow Chicago to come back if they ever got into that situation. But whatever the case is, Chicago needs to rely on their running game, and I think that could really win the game for them. But I'm going with the Rams in this. I just think that the experience is going to get them. I think Caleb's probably going to make too many mistakes. And Chicago really wants to avoid a shootout if they can.
Hmm.
I just don't see any way Chicago wins this game unless the Rams gift it to them. To be quite
Right.
honest with you, I just don't see
Hmm.
it.
And let me tell you something else. The Rams, when they play with their three tight ends, I mean, and if they get that going, they're tough. It's tough to control the game when they play with three tight ends and when it's going well.
Anything else about any of these games that you guys didn't get to add, or something you thought about as we were discussing the other games? Anything else about any of these games that you think might be a crucial point that we didn't discuss?
One thing I'll
No,
say, I have one word at the top of this section, phrase rather, is that momentum matters.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
hmm
What about you, big dude? Anything stand out that we maybe none of us covered, something that came to your mind after the fact? Or if you
no,
want to circle back to anything?
not really. I mean, I think that I'm looking forward to see how that Patriots game goes. I just know that I'm looking forward to that game being not just competitive, but I really believe Houston has a chance, and that would be an exciting win for I would say for the franchise, and that will dictate a number of things if they were able to beat the Patriots to get to the next round.
I was hoping that that would be the last game,
The
but
Patriots.
yeah,
Uh,
because I think the Rams are gonna blow Chicago out. I ain't trying to be funny or anything,
Wow, at
but
home, huh?
yeah,
I
I
mean, I
do.
mean, it is possible, but I don't think that. Yeah, I don't think this time.
I
I
hope
actually
they don't
believe
because
the Bears
I want a good
they're gonna
game.
make it closer win.
I wouldn't be mad if Chicago won. I would not be mad if Chicago won at all. And same thing with Houston. I picked the Pats, but I would have no problem if Houston won that game with no
Yeah, one
problem.
thing I
But
wanted to circle back to is you were talking, and I forgot to mention when you're talking about Tennessee, and I
mhm.
say for me the biggest hole with them is the leadership. It seems like that they don't give coaches a chance,
No, I don't.
and that would be my concern as a coach is, are you going to give me more than 2 3 years to actually get it? Now in this particular case, like you were saying, I mean, with the number 4 pick, a lot of space, cap space, they could actually add to the roster. They can protect him, Cam Ward, that is, and they'll probably improve. But that leadership doesn't seem to be patient.
No, they didn't even give dude a chance, man. I
Mm-mm,
forgot what week it was, but he didn't last long this year.
No.
mm-mm, nope. So if I was a head coach, no, I don't think I want. Yeah, I have them fourth on my list. I honestly
Mhm.
don't know if I want to deal with that.
And if you remember too, they were competitive in games.
They were very.
It wasn't like they were getting blown out every week. So I didn't understand that firing at all. And that's a great point. I'm looking for a gig. I want to be given a chance. I'm not
Mm-hmm,
going to an organization that pulls the trigger that fast for sure. So we'll see how they
mm-hmm.
do with that. They're probably going to end up with some first time coordinator who's going to be fired after the first year. Somebody we never heard of.
Probably. Hey, do y'all think Tom Brady can calm the Davis crew down and so he can actually build a team?
I do.
Oh,
I do. And I think they got a plan. I just don't know who the coach is going to be, but I think they'll probably draft Mendoza and get the right coach. I do think he will help that organization flip.
yeah. Something drastic needs to happen with the Raiders because then who's the coach? I mean, who's going to get? And I call it Raiders Island. Who's going to get sent there?
I know. If I was them, I would have kind of cleaned
Because of
house.
Tom Brady.
Say it again.
I would consider it because of Tom Brady. And they got Junty and Bowers there, so it's not like it's not like that they don't have some pieces.
Hmm.
But I just truly believe that Brady can keep the Davis crew at bay and actually build a team.
And why wouldn't you trust him, right? I mean, he's proven that he obviously understands what it takes to win. So why wouldn't you put your trust in him?
Yeah.
I think that they should have, and I love Brock Bowers, but or not Brock Bowers, excuse me. My big boy Crosby. I thought that maybe should things had gotten so bad for them. I thought that maybe they should have considered shopping him and getting some
Hmm.
picks and kind of starting from scratch because you
Hmm.
had Bowers and maybe get multiple players for one.
Hmm.
And I do love Crosby, but You need picks, man. Look at what the Eagles were able to do. You need picks.
Yeah.
Picking a player here and there. And that's one of the problems with my boys, to be quite honest. First, we don't draft well when we do draft. But when you got one pick in a round and then some rounds you don't have a second round pick and you don't have a pick to the fourth, you can't flip your roster like that. And especially if you don't have any cap space.
Right.
So, that's how these teams get themselves in trouble. And I would have thought it would have been worth it to me in the end for the Ray, because you got to figure now, if you bring in Mendoza and any of the other young impact players, Crosby's career will be over before they get going.
True.
You know what I'm saying? And you could have brought in another class with all these guys all at once and built from there. But yeah, if they let Brady get it, I think they'd be all right. They play hard.
Yeah.
Oh, they do. They try. They really try hard. I did not feel that they were just giving up.
Nope.
I didn't.
So who gets sent there? Mike McDaniels?
I tell you what, with Mendoza, that wouldn't be bad.
Right.
I wonder if somebody's going to give him a head coaching job, though.
Why is that?
Next year.
The part of me is
OC
like,
first. Because I'm thinking maybe OC first. I think people only see him as an offensive coach. I don't know if he's seen as a leader. Because honestly, I thought Miami was the biggest threat to the Bills in that AFC East. Like they were the team that was worrying me the last 3 years.
Mm-hmm.
And we kind of had our way with them for the most part. I mean, Josh only lost to them for the first time this year.
This dude, he put them $23 million over the cap with Tua. So
yeah, why would you pay Tua? And I like Tua, but not like that.
Now, granted, they were playing. Miami played better down the stretch. You mean you have to give them that depth, but it was he plays a role in asking for players and putting that team over the cap. I don't know. I'm just not sold on him as a head coach.
I
don't think I don't know if he sees the entire game. And you need a coach that sees the entire game.
Yeah, I agree with you. He had too many weapons for them not to be better. Even if you didn't have a good defense, which they had serviceable defenses, you shouldn't have been even able to hang with Miami with those weapons that they had.
You shouldn't.
You got a quarterback that's a little undersized, that's been getting hit. Draft line and protect this dude.
Why would you have drafted him in the first place, though?
They fall for that hype. They about to
I
get
don't
another
need a coach
Alabama.
who's gonna fall for hype.
They about to get another dud quarterback out of Alabama when they pick this damn Ty Simpson character. But
well, you hope.
Out. I actually hope the kid makes it. Like I was talking to somebody about the other day. I said, please make me be wrong. Because I'm like, I don't know what everybody else is seeing.
On nobody, right?
Say it again.
I said, you don't wish bad on anyone.
No, not at all. I mean, I want to see the kid be successful, but at the same time, I'm watching the game and I'm like, this ain't it, man. I mean, we're all watching it and we're all thinking the same thing. Like, this ain't it.
Right.
So, anyways, man.
It looks like we lost the big dude.
Yeah, it looks like he's having some internet issues there. But
okay.
We get ready to close this episode on out. So, I mean, obviously we're talking about college and professional levels of ball. Tells the same story. One ring, that chase for that ring. A lot of teams chasing it, but only a few are built to really carry the weight and achieve what they set out to accomplish. Monday night, we're going to get a college football champion crowned. By Sunday night, the NFL will be down to their final four. So just however it ends, remember that the journey ends with the ring. Thanks for tuning in. And we will see y'all all next time. Don't forget to subscribe and follow. We're on all the major platforms, all the streaming platforms. So please check us out. All right.
Peace.
Have a good one. Peace.